Hey guys, welcome to the channel. Thanks for joining me in the garage today. This is my 2024 Tesla Model Y long range. I picked this up a few months ago. I don't have very many miles on it. I recently completed the PPF project. Now the PPF is a paint protection film. It's a clear film that goes over the paint. It's going to help protect it against scratches, everyday wear and tear, keep the swirls off of it to really help preserve the paint. Now this car over here is my 2023 Model Y, and I did the same PPF kit on that one as well. So when I first got this car, I tried to keep the miles off this as much as I could before I could get the paint protection film on, because this front of the bumper, the way the bumper is contoured, there's really no grill area. You just have a big painted surface on the front of the bumper. It's susceptible to a lot of rock chips, bugs, things just hitting that, and it's going to get scratched up. So if you're thinking about getting a paint protection film and maybe you're concerned, well, should I get it, should I not? I would say at least do the bumper and maybe the hood or half the hood. Just the front areas are going to be the most important. I ended up doing the entire car. So every painted surface on both cars has PPF film on it. So even the headlights, the pillars, fenders, doors, the rear hatch, the rear bumper, everything, everywhere that's painted, this stealth gray, or in that one's the midnight silver metallic, has the paint protection film. Now, I didn't get any quotes on getting this done from a professional company. I knew it was going to be like $3,000 to $5,000 if I was to get a company to do this for me. So what I ended up doing on both cars is I found a kit on eBay. It's the 3M Scotchgard Pro kit. It's the gloss clear that goes over the paint, so it doesn't look like it's even on there. I paid, after shipping, taxes, everything, was like $1,300 to buy the paint protection film. I did talk to a couple companies after I put it on. They're like, yeah, you easily save $3,000 to $4,000 by doing this yourself. And so I was actually surprised that it was going to be that much savings. So because it's so expensive to get the paint protection film put on, I was like, I'm just going to do it myself, even if it takes me a little bit of time. If it's not perfect, that's okay. At least I saved the amount of money, and all of the paint on my car is protected now. The hardest part are these big curved areas. Like the bumper was the hardest part by far. It was challenging. It was hard to get it straight. There was parts where we even had to cut it and then kind of reapply it. So the bumper is very hard. The rear bumper is also very hard. The doors, the hood, the fenders, these upper pillars here are really not that bad. Getting the solution right, the kit that I got, it came with instructions on how to do it, how to mix the slip solution, the tack solution, when to use both. If you watch a bunch of YouTube videos, you can get some information and some confidence to be able to do this yourself. Guys, I've been wondering, like, how do I want to do this video? This isn't a DIY, like, here's how you do it. What I want to do is I want to give you, maybe it'll give you some confidence to try it yourself, but I want to give you some tips as I go through around the car and just kind of show you some tips and tricks that I use to maybe help you in your project. Or if not that, if you're going to get this done at a shop, I would say at least start with the bumper, the front headlights, and probably this front fender as well. Just getting the front of it protected is going to go a long way, just because you're going to get a lot of debris, rocks, and when you're driving on the freeway, you're just going to get this is going to get beat up. The other parts are not as important. I wanted to get the full car because I usually take my car through a car wash that has all the brushes moving, like an automated car wash. I don't have time to hand wash this car. It gets dirty all the time. In the summer, we get tons of bugs. And then we're getting rain and stuff, and then we're also getting, like, in the fall, in the wintertime, lots of salt on the roads and things like that. So I just have to keep this car washed all the time. I'm washing it a couple times a week because it just gets so dirty, just from driving it. So I just don't, and I think the touchless car washes where it just has the sprayers only just doesn't get the car clean enough. I just can't get the bugs off. I can't get the salt off. It needs to have something touching the surface to really get it clean. And so I've used the brush car washes because there's a lot around here. They have like an unlimited membership where you pay a flat fee, $20 a month or something. You go as many times as you want per car. So I use that, and so I wanted something to protect the paint, so that way when I go through those, it might leave a little bit of swirl mark in the paint protection film, but it's going to help keep the paint protected underneath. Now, it's not perfect. I wasn't able to get this perfect. From this far away, you can't tell that much, but I want to point out a few spots and maybe kind of give you a few tips and tricks here. Now, for the hood here, the hood is actually pretty easy. I had the company I bought this from. I'll leave a link to them. It was from a company called North Tints. This was the 3M product. You can have them remove the emblem cutouts. So I took off the front emblem. It's easier to do it with the emblem taken off than it is to have it on there, because on this car right here, we ordered it with the emblem cutout. I don't know if you can see right here, but I had to cut out part of the film because it bubbled up right there. It's hard to get it centered. You can see the cutout right around the edge there. It's much harder with the emblem in place. So even if you want to put the emblem back on, just order a new one for $5-10 or something and slap on a new one, and it'd be a lot easier in that regard. So that made it easier. The front bumper on this one was a lot harder. Somehow that one went on a little better, but we were getting the bumper all taken care of here, and as we kind of saved this part for last, and we had tons of fingers right here, and had we have just laid it down, it would have just wrinkled up, wouldn't have worked out. So I actually had to cut. I don't know if you can see right here. I cut this whole part out right here. Cut this whole part out to get all the wrinkles out, and then I reapplied this down. So there is you can see a mark. You can see where it's cut right there. You have to be close to be able to see that. It's not that big of a deal, but my front bumper really didn't turn out that great. The hood isn't bad. These fenders are not bad. Let me show you areas. There's areas like this that happen. See around, it's kind of like a curved, see where it curves right here? This isn't laying down very well. What I need to do, and what I've done in some areas, is you can get a razor blade and you can actually trim this out. Like anywhere there's spots that aren't just laying down perfectly, or you can trim those out. I didn't know to do this until recently, so you can just trim that out, and then that way it's not going to continue to spread and continue to come up. So that's something that you can do, is kind of trim around spots. Like I've had to trim around this trim here, or if there's some hanging off the edge, you want to get anything hanging over the edge, because anything over the edge is going to pill up. It's going to get dirt behind it. You can see right here how there's a line. So it's not all the way to the edge. I've had to cut some of this just to get it to lay flat. Here's another example here in the back. I have these 3 little fingers right here. So I still need to cut this, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a razor blade and probably start a cut about right here and just go slightly above this, above this, above this, and then come back down. So just take a piece of the film off right there. That will get rid of those. It'll hardly be noticeable. But there's areas like this that you can cut the film, because otherwise, if you leave pieces like this that are going to be pilling up, it's going to eventually destroy the whole panel, because it's going to keep failing, and water and dirt are going to get underneath there, and it's going to slowly ruin the whole panel. On the rear here, I had the badges all removed. I took all the badges off. The dual motor here, I took the Tesla T off here. This back panel, this panel here is all one, and then this is a separate panel here. So there's actually a gap right here. Let's see if you can get a shot of it here. See how there's 2 pieces? There's an edge here. There's an edge here. So there's kind of an exposed paint area here. So what I'm doing to kind of protect the film, this kind of actually just is 2 pieces meeting up all the way to the edge here. But what I want to do is I want to do what I did on this car and add this carbon fiber spoiler on the back. This is going to be a cool way to at least help protect. You can see here there's where the 2 pieces meet. This is going to be a way to protect those 2 areas, protect the film from coming up, and make sure the paint that's exposed is not going to get damaged at all. Plus the spoiler, I think, adds a cool look. And then on this one, I'm also going to add the Tesla letters. So like on this one here, see how I have the black letters? The Tesla black letters right across the middle. I think that looks a lot better than like the chrome tee, so it's kind of a way to keep the blackout area here. But in the back fender, this actually looks kind of bad here. But because this whole back bumper area here to that side, and then the same side on the other side, it's all one piece. And so I ended up having to I had to score the film here to be able to get this to lay flat and then this to lay flat. So there was some areas where I had to kind of modify the film, and if you look close, you can see it, but it's not that noticeable, but it's not nice. It's not good to have like this cut area all the way across here. So there is some challenging parts to this if you're doing the full body kit like I did. These panels are also hard. I don't know what it is about these rear quarters, but these are very hard as well, especially getting the fingers down along the edges here. The doors are not bad at all. The doors don't have a lot of curvature. It's really just a flat panel. And you can kind of trim around the edges and things where those, or trim around the door handles if there's any areas that come up with a razor blade. The mirrors are also very hard. I don't know, the kit that I got, if you can see the line, here's the film here to here to here, and then it has like a two-piece thing. I wasn't even sure how that kit goes down on here, but it's at least protected on the front of it. You can see there's bugs against here, right here. It's not protected on the top. This is really the only exposed paint area on this whole car, but I never even saw how to do it. But with this sharp curve here, these curves are really hard to do with the paint protection film. You can see right here how there's a piece that's coming up. So when there's things like that, you can just score around it with the razor blade. You want to make sure you're not into the paint, but if you press hard enough, you can score the film where it will pill up. So you score it and then you just kind of pill it up, and I can take that piece off. So there's still some areas where I need to kind of go back and do a review. Like right here's a spot that I need to recut. See how it's hanging over where the panel curves. So because I just need to score right along there. I just score right along there. I can peel that piece up, and it will lay flat, kind of like right here, kind of right how it is right here. So it's a hard project. I'm not going to say it's easy. It's very frustrating. It's very hard. It's very time consuming. No wonder these shops charge, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 to do something like that. It takes a lot of skill to be able to learn to do it perfectly. Mine's not perfect. This is the third car I did. That was the second one. I had a black Model Y that I did most of the painted surfaces on it. That was the first one I did. So I've done 3 cars now. I still wouldn't take it to a shop. I think this is good enough. I guess my standards are a little lower than some, but it looks really good. Like, if I didn't point out a few of these spots, you probably wouldn't notice. If you got up close with like a magnifying glass, yeah, you're going to see some of these cut marks and things that I have on there. But the fact that it's protected now, I don't have to worry about the paint. I don't have to worry about the car wash scratching it up. It's gonna look really well. This does have a self-healing property to it, so any small scratches kind of self-heal out of it, which is really cool. And I know, like, in 7-10 years or something, if it starts really getting bad, I can just peel it off and I'll have a perfectly good paint job underneath. So that's kind of a peace of mind that it gives me. So I would encourage you to get some protection film on the car. Right in front of the rear wheel right here, this area here gets a lot of like debris shot up from the front tire. So as the front tire, let's say rocks, dirt, water, whatever, slush, snow, it's going to come from the front tire. It's going to hit this area here. So this area right here gets beat up quite a bit. So even on a new car, if a new car has got 2,000 or 3,000 miles on it, you'll see this area is starting to take some beating. So you at least want to get, they sell a kit that would be pretty easy to put on that's just kind of this area right here that would protect this kind of this rear door area. I would say do that, do the front bumper, the headlights, probably at least half of the hood, if not all the hood. That would give you some good protection on the car. So if you're like me and you like doing things by yourself, kind of doing like DIY stuff, kind of tinkering with stuff like this, I would encourage you to do it. Just watch some tutorials. There's some good tutorials out there on how to do it. Get a good kit. I like the 3M PPF that I got on this. This is the 3M Scotchgard Pro. Worked really good. It's easier to work with than the other film I worked with on my other car. So I think that this is one of the first accessories, one of the first modifications to do to your car, just because if you wait after 3,000 or 4,000 or 5,000 miles, you're already going to have rock chips, you're already going to have scratches, you're already going to have damage to your paint. So get this done as soon as you get your car. I think it's worth doing. Guys, so hopefully this information was helpful for you. I would definitely just shop around, get some quotes from places in your area that do this. Maybe look online. I'll leave a link to the kit that I got, where I got my kit. I got it on eBay, like I said, for this film. So maybe look at a few other videos on what's involved on installing this. Look at other shops, and then just do a cost comparison. Is it worth the extra money to pay a shop, or do you want to try it yourself? I mean, also though, be prepared that you might ruin some of the film. Like that's a possibility. So if you spend $300, $400, $500 on the film kit and you ruin it, you're out that money. So be kind of cautioned in that regard. Stay tuned to the channel. We're going to get the Tesla badge installed in the next video. That EV-based carbon fiber spoiler is going on the back, so stay tuned to those videos. Thanks for watching, guys. Leave your comment down below. Hit that thumbs up. Subscribe. We'll see you in the next one. Thanks.